Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for RPR Mobile, One Tool, Endless Solutions. My name is Jo Teeter, and I will be your instructor today. Katie was a little under the weather, so she asked me to fill in for her. I am also a training manager with RPR and a licensed agent here in Arizona. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to use that Q&A box in your control panel. Type in your question, and I will make sure we get those all answered today before we leave. All right. If you haven't already been to the NAR website, nar.realtor, they have a lot of great resources there for you to help through this time that we are going through. There's information on aid, relief, Economic Security Act, shelter-in-place guidelines, but there's also a lot of other resources. And at the end of the webinar today, I'm going to show you some of the other resources that are available on this website. So please check it out. A lot of great videos that talk about how to do virtual showings, virtual listings. So do check out the nar.realtor website. If you need to contact member support for any reason, please call them at 800-874-6500. And they'll be able to answer all of your questions. Also, make sure on a daily basis almost that you really need to check with your state and local associations, their websites and their hotlines, just to see what the guidelines are, the restrictions that you have currently in place for doing business in your state. Now, we know your life gets busy and they're always on the go. And in today's world, clients and customers expect answers faster than ever. And in fact, nowadays, you know, it used to be within 10 minutes that you need to respond to an internet lead. Now it's like within the first 10 seconds that you need to respond to an internet lead. Slow response can mean a missed opportunity. And so with our mobile app that I'm going to be showing you today, you have access to everything that in RPR from your mobile device. And so you can reply to your clients in real time and never miss a chance or your next chance to serve a client. So today we're going to talk about what is RPR. I'm going to show you everything you have access to and how to use it with buyers and sellers. We'll do a property and neighborhood search. I'm going to show you how to take photo, voice notes, text notes, and memos in there, how to create, customize, and send the reports out to your clients and customers. And then also I'll show you where you can get help and a lot of other resources that you can access. Again, there are two terms you'll see in here, the AVM, which is the automated valuation model. This is calculated using only the public available information. And because everybody's at home right now, everybody is on the internet looking at houses. Whether it's your website or some other national website out there, and they're discovering homes that they may want to take a look at. But also, they're also coming up with a lot of different values too, based on the site with the AVMs. So they always get confused. So we have the RVM, which is the realtor's valuation model. So we take all that public available information also, but we're adding in all of your MLS, active, sold, and off-market data. So we're combining the two databases together, which gives the highest accuracy of any valuation product out there on the market and a great starting place to price a property. So on the RPR mobile, you can look at property info, you can do reports. We have a lot of tools that I'm going to show you today. This is my favorite tool as a realtor. I use it all the time when I'm going to parties. I'm always getting asked, what did that property sell down the street for? Or what it is it listed for? How many square feet does it have? And I'm able to answer all of these questions. It's probably my favorite tool. I just got a question. Is the RVM automated with an algorithm or is it done by actual people? The RVMs are done by actually 5 algorithms that are built into the background of our software. Based on the sales in the area, all 5 of our calculations come up with that number. So, and if they're all in agreement, you're going to see a 5-star rating. If you see anything less than a 5-star, that just means one of those algorithms is not in agreement with that value. And so you may have to do a little more research to find the properties that would help support or substantiate what you're looking at. Okay, you can search properties on or off the market. look for property conditions, market conditions, what they're at, and we'll show you how to do that. You can look at all the property details, create and send reports, one-touch call to the listing agent. And then what's nice is everything syncs together, whether you're on your desktop, laptop, tablet, or phone, everything syncs together. Now, there is a 3D touch. If you have an Android product, it already is activated for you. If you have an Apple product, you will have to go into your settings and fix that and turn it on. So it is now activated. So when you see your icon, you can touch it and it will open up and give you a menu where you can look at your saved searches, your recent reports, your listings, and the property that you're sitting outside of, or even inside if you're allowed inside the house. So you have that. I'll show you that live here. Now to activate that, for the Apple products, you will go into your settings, you'll go into the general tab, and then go to accessibility. And then you're going to make sure that this little green button is turned on to activate that 3D touch. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now keep in mind that this is my live phone. I was waiting for a phone call. I tried calling to get it out of the way. They did not answer their phone, so I apologize if the phone rings during this. I will immediately snuff it out. All right, so you can see down here that I have my RPR account, right? Showing time, super key, and then also NERC2EX. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my finger on this icon here on RPR, and I'm gonna hold it down, and it pops up with that menu. So now I can look at my saved searches, my recent reports, my listings, and the property that I am sitting at or in. I'm gonna go ahead and just tap on this and open it up. And once you've logged in, if you are continually in there, you never have to log in again. And so I'm pretty much in here on a daily basis, whether I'm doing webinars like this or I'm actually looking at properties. This is what I use. All right, so this is my default page. So it shows where I'm located and everything that's within a mile. Now, when you're opening up your phone, yours probably is set at a half a mile, which is the default. So I'm going to show you how you can change that here in just a minute, because I like to go out to a mile, especially if I'm going to do a CMA on my phone. I like to have that 1 mile radius from my property. Okay, so here is everything that's within that 1 mile radius of me. 54 properties for sale, 19 new listings, 34 recently sold, no distressed, and 20 for lease. If I slide my screen one direction, this gives me the local market conditions for Panther Creek in this case. And I see what the median estimated value is, the median list price, the median sales price, and this is coming from the listing data in the MLS, your median sales price, 12 months change listing data, and then the median days in RPR. If you scroll one more, you're going to get your search screen where you can put in an address, city, zip, or even an MLS ID if you're given that. You can go to your listings quickly. You can do a hot sheet, look at your market activity hot sheets here. You can look for schools, keyword search, owner name, or APN numbers, parcel numbers. And then if you slide either direction, doesn't make any difference which direction you slide, you have access to those three. All right, now to change this radius up here, if you go up to the upper left-hand corner, there's the little gear up there. So you tap on that gear. And if you come down over here to user settings, click on user settings. And because I'm in Arizona and I wanted to make sure I was showing properties around where you're at, I went ahead and changed my no to a yes up here at the top, and I typed in Spring, Texas, 77381. Excuse me, tickle. So I could override my location. So you could do the same thing. You can override your location and then get a lot of that data as well if you need to. And then right here, set nearby, and mine is set at a mile. But again, you can move that slider anywhere from a half mile all the way up to 10 miles. And again, I have a tendency to keep mine at a mile. You can also set your new listings anywhere from, the default is 30 days or down to 14, 7, 3, or 1 day. So depending on how often you want to stay in contact with your buyers right now. So if you're working with buyers, I'm going to show you a little trick here. I send out a buyer tour report to all my clients that are looking for properties in a certain area, all of the new listings. So I have a tendency to change this down to 14 days. So every 2 weeks, I would show them all the new listings that have come on the market in this area. I see we have a hand that's been raised. If you'll go ahead and type in your question in the Q&A box, I'll be able to answer it right from there. Thank you. Okay, so again, you can change your listings. You can also change your recently sold anywhere from 7 days all the way up to 180 days. And then also you have your commercial listings here too. All right, once you have made those changes, just come over here and tap in this blue area. All right, not sure what that red box was doing, but now my settings have been saved. And now you can see your properties are up here at a mile. All right, so this app is RPR mobile. So you want to make sure you go into the App Store or Google Play Store and look for RPR mobile. I just got a question on, please let me know which app this is. So if you'll go into RPR mobile and look for the little trademark up at the top, that's where we're at, is in this app. Okay. All right. So let's say, for instance, you have a client that's looking in this area and they want to know what the new listings are. So right here, I'm going to tap on the 19 new listings and it's going to bring me to the map. It's actually showing me only 4, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to click on filter. And I'm going to change it to, I'm going to uncheck pending and uncheck distressed. So I'm just looking for active properties. Come down a little further, you can select your property type. So I'm going to tap on the yes. And then you can see all of the different property types that you can search for. I'm just going to select the single family here. And then scrolling on down, you can put in the number of beds that your clients are looking for, the number of baths. You can even put in the price range. So let's say we've got someone that's looking to be in maybe the 300 to 400 range. And then click apply filters. And now you can see all of the properties that meet that criteria. Now, if there are properties that have been listed within the last 14 days or 30 days, whatever you had set it at, you would have a little white N on the box. So right now in this particular area where I am situated, I'm not seeing any of those N's. So there's no new listings that are in this area. So you've already sent everything out to them. So let me go back home here. Excuse me. And I'm going to tap on the little house and it takes me back to my home page. And I'm going to come up here to the little search icon. Click on that. And let's say I've got someone that is actually looking to move to Sylvan Forest. So I'm going to come in here and type in Sylvan Forest in the Woodlands, Texas. And then I'm going ahead and tap on the search. All right. Okay, well, let's try this again. All right, we're going to tap on that. I'm going to type in Sylvan Forest in the Woodlands, Texas. All right, let's try this again. Okay. All right, let's try a different area. It worked earlier, so I'm not sure why it's not working now. Let's try Golden Sage in the Woodlands, Texas. And let's see if that pops up. Maybe that little red box that started out. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I've got the outline of that neighborhood identified. So now I'm going to come down to the bottom here and click on filter. And I'm going to change my statuses. So I'm just looking at properties that are active right now. And then scroll down, I'm going to look at property types, which is single family. Scrolling on down, again, you can put in your beds, baths, price range, living square footage, lot size. So put in all the criteria that your buyers are asking, and then come to the bottom here and click Apply Filters. All right, so now I see there are 3 properties currently for sale, and there is 1 new listing here. So that has the N on it. Now, if I wanted to send this out to them in a report, what I would do is come down to the bottom here where it says Reports and tap on Reports. And then come down here where it says Create Buyer Tour. So click on Create Buyer Tour. And now if I want to go ahead and put this one in here, I would just go ahead and tap on my screen. It pops it up here. I can look at the photos just by sliding those photos either direction. And if this is a property that I definitely want to send out to them, then I would come down here and click Add to the Tour. And now that property's been added. Now, if I want to include any of the others, I could go ahead and tap on those as well, or I could come up here to the top and click on List. And now I can see all of the properties that are in there. And then I can just click on Add to the Tour and Add to the Tour. Then come up to the top here. You can see I've got 3 properties that I've added. Click on Next. And now you can see those 3 properties have been added. You can put them in whatever order that you'd like. So let's say you want to maybe put the second one in the first position. Just come up to the top here, click that down arrow, come down to the bottom here and change it to the first position or whichever position you want. Select Done. And now you see that it's been moved over into that first position. You also have a place down here where you can type in notes. So you can go ahead and type anything that you know about that property. You have up to 5,000 characters, so you can type quite a bit in there. And then once you have that done, just come up to the top here and click Next. And then I tend to go ahead and keep everything in there. The property grid is a side-by-side comparison of all the properties that you've put into the report. And then they also get an individual page on each of the properties that you have put into that report. So I tend to keep everything the same here, plus all of my contact information. So I just come up here to the top and click Next. And then I would email it out to them just by tapping on the email. And then you can enter their email address. If you do have their email address already in your phone, all you have to do is click that little plus sign right there at the end of that box. It'll access your contacts. Just scroll all the way down to where that contact is located, tap on their name, and it will automatically insert their email address into the box. You can then have a copy sent to you, and you can also add a message down here. And then once you're done with that, just come up to the top here, click on Get Report, and it will generate the report. Once it's generated, it will automatically send it out to that person. I'm going to go ahead and exit reports. Now, if you want to do anything else with these, if you want to send out a report, let's say you've got someone that maybe contacted you off the internet and they have a property, they just discovered a property in the Golden Sage area and they need a report and they want more information about that property. So here's that new listing. Maybe this is what they found on the internet. So I would again do that same search, come in here, tap on that. And then I could also tap on the property itself, and it opens it up and gives me all of the details about the property. So I could see the pictures, and if I just tap on that first picture there and turn my phone to the side, I can now have a little bit bigger format, but I can look at all of the pictures that the listing agent put in. And then when I turn my phone back upright, it brings me back to all this information. Now down here, I've got a little man that looks like he's standing in a puddle. You tap on him and you're gonna get the Google Street View. So now I can go ahead and use my finger and I can go around the neighborhood and see what the neighborhood is like. You also have the airplane, which is the overhead view. So now I can see what the overhead view is like. And then you also, if you want to go back to the 4 pictures, you can just tap on the 4 boxes. Or if you want to go back to the single picture, you can tap on the single box. So those are your icons underneath the pictures. It shows it's recently for sale. It's a new listing, what the price is, the RVM, and then a little information about the property. Scrolling down, I can see who the listing agent is. If I need to call the listing agent for any reason, maybe I need a virtual tour because I've got someone that really is interested in this property, and you can see what is recommended as far as doing a virtual tour on this property for your clients. You can call the agent just by tapping on Call Agent. It will pop up and give you the numbers that you can tap on. So if I wanted to tap on this 8881, then I would tap on it and my phone will actually dial that number for me. I'm just going to hit cancel. You also have access to other links in here too that you can go ahead and click on. It will take you right into their website or their email address. You've got the description that the listing agent put in. You have a place where you can look for nearby for sale, nearby comps. You can even create a comp analysis if you have a client that's looking maybe to purchase this property, this new listing. That's an option. You've got the homeowner's facts here. You've got all of the home facts that the listing agent put in. Homeowners Association, and you've got price change history. You've got all of the prior sales transactions here, even the loan amount. You've got all the school information. You can even find schools in other places if you need to. You've got all the interior and exterior features. You've got the legal description. Here's mortgage records, tax information. It's all right there. Now, if you want to send out a report to them, just come down to the bottom here and click on reports. You can see that the buyer tour is still being generated. I'm going to click on add a report here. And then you have access to all of these reports. Now, I typically would send out a property report to anybody who is not familiar with the schools or the neighborhood in this area. Then I would send out the property report. If it's someone who is familiar with the area, and maybe they've been looking and you've already sent out the neighborhood and school report to them, then I would typically send out the mini property report. So let's go ahead and do the property report. So I'm just going to tap on that. Opens it up. You can see you have custom pages. So if you have custom pages already in your account, you're going to see those are in here. And then you can choose to either have those included. If you don't want something included, just go ahead and tap on the yes, change it to no. And then that will not be included in the report. Scrolling on down, you have all the other property or pages that you can include or not include based on what you want them to see or what kind of things that they're requesting. It always remembers what you did the last time. So if you want to keep everything the same, just come up to the top here and click next. And again, you can either download it or email it. I'm just going to go ahead and download this one and then come up here and click on Get Report. All right, I'm going to go ahead and exit. All right, I see another hand was raised. If you have a question, please use the Q&A box. Type in your question and I will get your questions answered. Thank you. All right, I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to go back home. All right, so that's one way. So anytime, I always let all of my clients know what I can do for them. So if they are looking for properties on the internet and they need more information, you can even send them an example of some of the reports that you have sent out. That's a great way to stay in touch. The other thing that I recommend that you do nowadays also, let me just go ahead and tap on those new listings again. Maybe. All right, there we go. All right. Now there is a question that purple and blue icon is for a property that's for sale and lease, correct? That is correct. So when you're looking at all these icons on here, you know, and here's one that's in a dark blue and you don't know what they mean, come down to the bottom here where that little gear is next to sort and tap on that and you're going to see the map legend. So it's going to show you everything here. So the one that you just noticed, that purple and blue icon, that is for sale as well as for lease. And then you've got all these other icons here. So it kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking at. So don't forget about that little gear down there. I'm going to hit the X in the upper right-hand corner. So that is always down here. So no matter what map you have pulled up, you'll be able to have access to that key. All right. The other thing I want to point out, let's say we've got someone that's interested in this area here. I'm just going to go ahead and tap on this $750,000 house here. And I'm going to go back down to the reports. And let's say they kind of want to know what is going on in the market right now. So I want to, there's my report. I'll view it later here. I want to do a market activity report. So it does automatically change up here to the top to that zip code. So I want to show them everything that's happening in that zip code. So they have an idea of what's going on in the market. Are the prices going down right now? Are they going up? How long are the properties staying on the market? These are kind of things that everybody is curious about right now while we're all sitting at home wondering what's going on in the market. You can post the market activity report to Facebook and all your other social media sites. On your website, you can post it. So let me show you how you can do this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and generate a market activity report. And then again, all report sections, it remembers what you did the last time. You can then come down and change. Okay, do I want to know everything that's in the last 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, last week, or 3 days? So down at the bottom, change that time frame. So let's say I want to know 3 months. And then select done. And then select the pages that you want to include. All right, so in this case, I want to look at also price changes here. Maybe I also want to look at expired. So pick and choose what you want. You also want to choose the property types. Maybe you just want single family and condo in there. You could do a price range if you need to, even beds and baths, living square footage, lot size, year built. And then maximum number of properties per status. If you click the down arrow there, you have the opportunity to do 10, 20, or 50. I'm just going to go do 10 here for today, but you can do more, and then select done. And then you got all your page elements down at the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and click next up here at the top. And now I can either download that or email. I'll just go ahead and get report, and I'll show you what that report looks like. And also how to post it on Facebook. How do I change mine to a mile? Okay, let me go back and repeat that. I'll get there in just a minute. I like this app a lot. How is this different from our mobile app? I am not familiar with the HAR mobile app. So I can't answer that question. I'm sorry. May want to just kind of play with this and then see how it compares and which one you want to use. All right, this property also, if you want to save this property, I can flip the property over just by tapping on this property. Whoops. Let's try that again. Let me go back. All right, so I've got this property open here. If you tap on this little circle with the 3 dots, it flips it over, and now I can save the property by tapping on that and then putting in a custom name. So if you have a client that's maybe looking at a particular property, you could put in their name here, or you could just use the default address. I'm just going to click on that. So now I've got that property saved, and you can tell by that star. So now you can see the star on the map. That means I have saved that property. The other thing, if I click on that little circle with the 3 dots again, if I want to go ahead and create a report, I can just click on that and create a report quickly. If someone has called about this property, I can remove it from the save, take that star away. I can add a note, and I can call the agent. So let's say, for instance, let me go ahead and open up this property again. Let's say you're getting ready to do a virtual walkthrough with the homeowner or with the listing agent. And I'm going to come down here, and I am going to tap on the property and open it up. Down at the bottom, I have notes. So as I'm going through the property, I'm going to be taking notes for my client so that we have got it into the report. So as the listing agent, whoever's doing the virtual tour for you, is going through and making notes about the property, you could go ahead and pull up the property yourself and add notes. So up here at the top, click on add a note. And then you could go ahead and type in the note just by tapping in the middle of that box. The keyboard will pop up. You can type it in. If you're at a place where you can go ahead and dictate, you have a little microphone here, and there's also a little microphone down here on your keyboard. So if I tap on the microphone here, Okay, you have to access it. I really like the size of this master bedroom. I think all of our furniture will fit, and I love the view outside that master window, period. Hit save. All right, and then if you need to edit for any reason, just come up here to edit, and then you can go ahead and edit out what you don't want to include in there. And then I could go ahead and back out the beginning as well. And then just make sure you hit save, and now that's been saved. If you're at a place where you can actually take a photo, also, you can add a photo if you'd like. So click on add a photo. I'm not going to take a photo of my monitor here. I'm just going to go ahead and select from the album, but take a photo. And when I was showing properties to all my clients, we would take pictures of everything that they liked. Anything they didn't like, I take pictures of leaks, holes in the wall, anything that they pointed out, I would take a picture and include it just by clicking on take a photo. I'm just gonna go ahead and select from the album here. And you can see all the photos right here. Whoops, okay. We'll just go ahead and tap on that one. Sorry about that. And you can see how that now has been entered in. So here is the back of the house, and you can see that they've taken away all the trees. Okay, so that's another way. You can also add a memo here as well. So just by tapping on that and dictating there as well. Then I would come down here and click on reports. And then you can select whichever report. Let's say we want to do a mini property report on this one. And then you can go ahead and include your mobile notes, which I would say yes. You can add your custom pages in there. And then also your report sections. Again, it's going to remember what you did the last time. And if everything is okay, just come up to the top here and click next. And then I'll just go ahead and download Get Report. All right, I'm going to go ahead and exit. All right, question. When you send the report through email, does it have your branding on it? Yes, it does. So it's going to have all of your contact information. All of your branding is going to be on the cover page of your reports. So let me go back home here. It does not have any of the listing agent's information in there. The only information that they're going to see for contact is your page on the front. So let's go down to the bottom here where it says recent, and let's take a look at a couple of those reports that we have done. So here are the properties that we just got done looking at, and you can see this one was one of the ones that we saved, but you can see all of the other properties that we've also looked at here. You also have any searches that you have done. So here's Hidden Lake and Montgomery County. So you can see all of the ones that we've looked at. You also have all of the reports that you have done, and you can see what stage they're in. So if I come down here to the buyer tour report first, let's just click on view report. Tap on it, open it up. You're going to have all of your branding up here at the top. Shows where the pictures are, the map of where your properties are located, all of your contact information. And then you're going to see the properties that you have selected to be included in that report side by side. And then all of this information on each page. Each property is going to have its own page. And so they get a lot of great information. And then if they need more information, then you can come back in here and send out an individual report like the property report or the neighborhood report. All of this information that you're getting from here has been pulled from your MLS into RPR so that you can generate these reports and send them out to your clients. Now, if I want to send this report, again, maybe they didn't get it for some reason, maybe I have their email wrong, I'll just hit view later here. You can come up to the top here and click on this little square with that arrow, tap on it, and then I could go ahead and either send it as a text message or as an email or any of the other ways that I have in my phone. So if I do my text message here, you can see that it's automatically inserted into there. I can just add a comment, put in their phone number, and then I can also add more if I need to, and then just hit the send button. I'm going to go ahead and cancel. Same way with the mail. So depending on what mail you use, you can see that it automatically inserts it in there, and then you can just put in all the other information. I'm going to go ahead and cancel. I'm going to X out up here at the top and X out again. There we go. All right, now the market activity report. Let me go ahead and show you what that report looks like. So here is the market activity report. So it outlines the whole Spring, Texas area here. And as I scroll down, I've got all of the pages that my broker had put in. So all of that information is in there. And then it goes into the report. So now I can see what the estimated home values are. It shows whether it's going up or down over the last month, quarter, 12 months, and 24 months. Then it goes into the 12 months change in estimated value over the last 12, 24, and 36 months. Shows the properties that are in distress, concentration of distressed properties and where those are located. It shows the sales price, whether they're going up or down over the last month, quarter, 12 months, and 24 months. And then it also has the list price and the values, whether it's going up or down or sideways. And then it goes into all the market activity stats and breaks it down, shows on the map, and then it gets the location, breaks it down by the different statuses, and then the different categories over here on the left-hand side. And then they're going to get, depending on how many listings you decided to use, 10, 20, or 50, you'll be able to now see here are the 10 listings in the area. They get a little snapshot of that. And when you're sending out this email to your clients, let them know that if they find a property that they're interested in and want more information, you could send them a report, and that will give them all the information about the neighborhood, the schools, or if they don't want that, you could send out the mini property report. But again, you have a lot of great information in here that is displayed well, colorful, but it gives them all the information that they need. So you're kind of that go-to person whenever they need information about what's going on in the market. So again, everything, all of the different statuses that you have checked will be in there. And then all about RPR, and then anything else. So if you've added anything else down here, like pictures or notes, that's also show up here on this last page. And then again, you could send this out just by tapping on that square and then send it out to them. Now, also, the other thing that you can do is send it to your social media sites. So if I again click on that little square with the arrow, I can come down over here to, let's say, Facebook, and I can tap on my Facebook. It will take me into my Facebook. You can see that that report has already been selected. It's in there. I can say something about it. I can choose who's going to see it and who, you know, where I'm going to post it, whether I have a business page, a Facebook business page, or my personal page, or I have a group that for a specific area, maybe for just the Springs, Texas area, you can go ahead and have a group for that, and then they'll get this report, and then they'll be able to see everything. So you want to be that go-to person that they'll come back to all the time if they need more information on what's happening in the market. I'm just going to go ahead and hit cancel and discard there. All right, let's go ahead, X out of there. And again, you can do the same thing with all these other reports too. And then if you have done any notes, you do have notes here, and you can go back and access each one of those notes just by tapping on it. You can see the picture, and then you can see all of the notes that you've included as well. I'm gonna go ahead and go back. All right, let's say you also get a phone call from someone who is wanting to know what their market value is on their house. So again, I would come back up here to that little search icon. Takes me over to that search page, and I'm going to put in the address. So let's say we're looking at pricing a property at 2916 Cross Vine Circle, and that is in Spring, Texas. And then I'm going to go ahead and search. And it takes me to the property. So now I can see that it is currently off the market. It shows the RVM, or the Realtor's Valuation Model, of 328,720. So when I click on the RVM details, it's showing that this one is a 4-star. So what that's telling me that this property could sell within about 15% of this number, either side. and that one of the algorithms that's built into the background is not in agreement that this is the right price. So you may have to do a little bit more work depending on how many stars this one has. So as I scroll down, I can see that this one has 3 beds, 2,300 square feet. It's sitting on 0.35 acres, and this is all coming from public records. Scrolling on down, if I don't know how to get to this property, I can tap on the little car here, and it will literally take me turn by turn to this property based on whatever GPS that you use on your phone. If you want to look at the traffic count, you can click on the traffic count and it will show you the traffic count going by if this is a busy street. You also have nearby for sale, nearby comps, and create a comp analysis. So again, this property is off the market, but you can see we still have all of the data about here: prior sales transactions, school information, legal description, tax information, all coming from public records. So if I want to go back and do a CMA on this property, you would come back up here to create a comp analysis. Click on that. You have the public record information here, and if anything is not correct, you can make the changes by coming over here to the third column, which is your changes. Tap on that, and you can add in the number of bedrooms that you know about. And then always make sure you come down here and click save if you have made any changes. So make your changes, anything that's not correct in the public records. Come back up to the top here, click next. And it'll take you to the first step of doing a CMA, maybe. All right, there we go. All right, so now I have the map. And again, this is all within my 1 mile radius. That's why I like to keep it at a 1 mile when I'm doing searches for properties or I'm doing CMAs. Now, if you don't have this set at a mile, let me go back here. Home. For those of you that missed that first part, up here at the upper left-hand corner, click on that little gear. Go down here where it says user settings, and then change your nearby from the half mile all the way up to, again, I'm going to leave it at a mile. So you have anywhere from a half mile all the way up to 10 miles. So that's where you're going to set it, and then just tap in this blue area and it will save it, and then I can go back. All right, maybe, there we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go down to recent here and tap on recent. Go back over to recent properties. Here is my crossvine. I'm just going to tap on that, open it back up, and I'm back in. So now I'm going to come back down here to create the comp analysis. I'm going to come back up here to the top and click next. And now I have all of my properties here. So again, if you don't know what these colors all mean, click on that gear down here next to sort, and you can find out what they mean. I'm going to go over to filter here, tap on filter. I'm going to go ahead and just select sold. So I'm going to uncheck these 3 here. So by tapping on the yes, changing them to no, those will be included. So I'm just looking at sold properties right now. It automatically defaults to what type of property it is in the public records. And it also has a lot of your basic filters already built in here. You can make those changes if you need to. You can do the sold date anywhere from 1 week, 2 weeks, all the way up to 3 years. I'm just going to say 6 months here and then select done. And then come down to the bottom. You can add keywords in, click apply filters. And it's going to take you to the map and then show you all of the properties that meet that criteria. Now you can tap on any one of these properties here. And if you want to include it in your CMA, then just come down here and click on add to comps, tap on it, and now it's been added. You can also come down to the bottom here and click on sort, and then you can sort it anywhere from recently updated all the way down to open house. I'm just going to leave it on proximity, but just tap on the area that you want. I'm going to go ahead and click on the X here. So you can tap on map and identify the properties, or you can click on list up at the top. And then you're going to see all of the properties here. So you would scroll down and then just select the properties that you want to add by tapping on them. Click on whatever ones that you want to add. There's a couple that are for lease, so we don't want to add those. And here's if you want to remove it. So if this is one that you want to remove, just go ahead and tap on it and it'll remove it from that area. If you want to keep it, go ahead and tap on it again. So you can add or remove. I'm going to go ahead. I've got 6 comps here that I have selected. I'm going to come up to the top here now and click next. Obviously, you would take a little more time in searching those properties. You know the area better than I do. But you can now see all of the properties that we have selected. Now, if there's a property that you want to delete, okay, so this one is a 2-story, and let's say I don't want that one, I'll just come up here to the top and click remove, and remove it from the list. You can also go ahead and come down here and put them in whatever order. So let's say I want this one to be the last one. So I'm going to hit that down arrow here, and I'm going to move it all the way down to the 5th position, and then click done. So you can see now that that one has been moved down to the 5th position. You can also go ahead and how does this property compare? Let's say this one's the same. Maybe this one's a little bit nicer. So I'm going to move that up. So move that slider up. My phone, there we go. So you can move that little ball up. And then let's say maybe this one is about the same. This one might be a little bit better. And maybe this one's a little bit worse. So again, move that slider. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So again, all based on your judgment. You can come down here and also add notes down here. So you can type in a note up to 5,000 characters. So you have a lot of place to write the notes. And then come back up to the top here and click next. It's then going to show you the average of your 5 comps. Once it comes in. All right. Okay, so now you can see what the average of my 5 comps are. I typically don't give my clients a number like that, so I'll come over here and click on that little pencil. And let's say I think it's worth a little bit more than that. The original result of this property was 276. We've got a range here. So let's say we're going to feel comfortable listing the property anywhere from 260 to 280, and then hit done. If you don't want the range, you can always put in the recommended price if you'd like. Just come down to the bottom here and make sure you click save. And now you can see the range has been set here, and then come up to the top here and click on get report. And it will automatically send the report out. You won't get a choice on what pages to include. So whatever you have set as the default on your desktop or laptop, that is what's going to be sent out to your clients. So go ahead and exit. And that is how to do a CMA. I'm going to go ahead and click on that little house again, take me back. All right, so that is doing a CMA. I'm going to go ahead and click on this very first one here, which is the 54 properties that are for sale. And I want to show you some of the map tools that you also have access to. So down again at the bottom, you can sort. So click on sort, and you can sort by any one of these ways. I'll just leave it on most expensive here. Or you could do recently updated, days active in RPR. Let's do days active in RPR. And then go ahead and hit that X there. I'm also going to go down here and filter. And let's just say we're looking at active. So I'm going to uncheck the other 2. Property types, let's just say I'm looking at single family right now. And then you could go ahead and I'm looking at least 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. You can put your price range. Let's say living square footage, we're looking at least 2,000 square feet. And then just hit apply filter. And you can see now all of the properties here. Now this is a lot of properties. We've got 33 properties that are showing on this map. You can move the map around, you know, to get the area. You can zoom into an area, and then when you do, this little pops up at the top, redo search. Just go ahead and tap on that, and it will add listings to that area if you need to. So down here again, you have this little circle with the 3 dots, and if you tap on that, you have access to all of the map tools. So if you click on, let's say draw, I'm going to do the draw first. We'll view later. Tap on draw. And using your finger, you can now draw around the area in question. And then once it sorts it, now you can see here is the area that I have identified. Again, if I've made a mistake, I can always come back down and tap on that little circle, hit draw again, and then redraw the area. The next one over here is parcels. So if you tap on parcels, you can see now all the parcel boundaries are on the screen. So no matter where you move your map, you're going to see the parcel boundaries now. And now you can see here is where one of the properties is located, and you can see the lot and what it looks like. So these are all the parcel boundaries, and you can leave this on if you'd like, or you can go ahead and turn them off again. Always click the redo search in this area, and then you'll see all of the property values now have come in. So here's a property for sale, but everything that's in gray are properties that are currently not on the market. So if you happen to drive down the street and this one has a for sale by owner sign in the yard, then you can go ahead and just tap on that, and you can learn all about that property that is sitting on the corner, who the owner is, and then you can always send them a CMA, let them know what you can do to help them during these times to get their property sold. Maybe they're relocating to another area. So go ahead and you can look at any of those. Now again, if you want to get rid of those boundaries, just come back down to that circle with the 3 dots, and then come back and click on the parcels and turn them off. Now the boundaries are off. Go back down to that circle. I'm going to skip schools right now. We'll come back to that in a minute. Map view. So I'm going to click on map view here, and you can see we're currently on the street view. You've got satellite and you've got hybrid. So if we click on hybrid, you can see you've got the street names here, and then also street names here. So if I move the map around, you can see all of the street names, and then maybe some other landmarks as well. If you click on that circle again and you want to change it to, let's say, satellite view, it takes away all of the names. So as I'm moving the map around, I don't have those names blaring at me. I just have the properties. So again, whenever you move your map around, always click that redo search in this area, and then it will show you the properties. Let's go back down to the map tools. I'm going to change the map view over to street view. All right, let's go back to the tools again. The next one is traffic. So if you are in an area, let me hit traffic here. If it's backed up to a busy street, it's going to show you little traffic counts. So it's going to have a legend here, and it's going to show you where all of those are. Let me go ahead and move these out here. So we've got some streets to look at, and let's go see if we got traffic counts now. But there'll be a little triangles that will populate on your map, and then you can click on that and it will give you a calculation on the amount of traffic that's in that area. So obviously these are not real busy streets. So there we go. So you can see now how they have populated. So now if I tap on this one right here on Gosling Road, tap on that, you can see here in 2018, 17,352 were going by there. You can also show the historical counts by tapping on that, and you can see the historical counts. So you have the traffic. So if you have a property that you're showing that's backed up to a busy street, make sure that you use that traffic. I'm going to go ahead and click on the map tools again. Another one you've got is drive time. So if you click on drive time, if they need to be a certain distance from work or from recreation facilities, anything like that, I'm just going to hit OK, got it. I'm going to do drive time here, but you can do walk time. And then you can choose the day of the time. So let's say right now, I want to choose, let's do Saturday at 8 a.m. Click done. And then you can choose your drive time down here by using that slider all the way up to 2 hours. So let's say they want to be at least 10 minutes away. And now you can see you've got the area identified. Come down to the bottom here and click apply. and it will show based on your criteria, all of the properties that meet that criteria in that particular area. Let's go back down to the map tools here. So that is travel time. There's also distance. So if you tap on distance here, based on your location, you can always click don't show again on these two, and then you don't have to see that again. Now you can select the distance. Okay, so right from where you're sitting, you've got the 1 mile all the way up to 25 miles. Let's say we want to know what's available within the last 3 miles. Click apply, and then it's going to show you all the properties that are within the 3 mile radius of where you're at. And you can see all of the new properties, and then you can use your filter down here to filter out those properties that you need to look at. Can you look at houses located in a gated community? Absolutely. So if you have an address or you have a gated community, you can go ahead and type it in up here under the search bar. Type in that gated community, and then you can look at all the houses that are in there as well. Absolutely. All right, let's go back down to the tool here. Back down to schools. So if you've got someone that's looking in the area, they just did a virtual showing on a house, they're thinking about writing an offer, but they want to know about the schools. So now if I tap on schools down here, you can look at nearby schools, or you could do a full school search. So if you've got someone that's even relocating somewhere else in the country or somewhere else in Texas, you could do a full school search for those areas. Let's just do the nearby schools here. And it's going to load onto your map here in that radius search. So you can see where you're located. And if I zoom in, you can see a little bit better. Again, reduce search, and then tap on any one of the schools. So here's Collins Intermediate. There's the Woodlands High School. You can see what the grade is. And then if they need information on this, you can always come back down here and click on Get a School Report, but you can also look at nearby properties that are for sale in that school district. So let's say we want to do Get a Report. So tap on that. It defaults right over here to School Report. Tap on that to open it up, and then you can go ahead and determine what school pages that you want to include. It remembers what you did the last time. So again, if I want to use within that district, hit done, and then I could go ahead and choose all the properties that are in that school district. Hit next, and then go ahead and email that report out to them and get report. So we make it very easy for you to send out this report depending on what your clients are needing. All of this can be done on the laptop as well. So you can just go to www.nerrpr.com, or there's a link through your MLS that will take you right into RPR as well. All right. Up here at the top, you do see this little icon up here too. You can tap on that, and it's going to give you a little compass that shows which direction you are facing. And then you can turn that off by just tapping on it again, and it turns it off. All right, let's go back home here. So up here under the left-hand side too, you've got that gear. But before we get there, right here, there's a little circle with the arrow. So when you're driving around and you want to know everything that's happening in your area based on your radius here, if you tap on that, it's going to show you all the properties, all the different statuses within that radius search of where you're at. So that's an easy way to get to that map. You've got that little search icon where you can look for gated properties or any other property there. You can also go back over to your gear, and you've got your settings here. If someone needs your contact information, click on the profile. All of your information, contact information is here, and then all you have to do is click Share My Contact Information, and then you can email it as a text or as an email out to your clients. I'm gonna go ahead and just X out there. And then also, if you want notifications, allow. Anytime you want a status change on a saved property or a list price change, you can be notified of those properties. If you want your new listing to be notified when you enter that new listing into the MLS and it arrives in RPR, it will notify you. If you want to also be notified anytime you generate a report, that will also let you know too. All right. And then down at the bottom, you can email us, you can phone us, you can also join our RPR Connect Facebook group. Got a lot of great information in there. And then also you can log out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that little blue area here and save it. All right, down at the bottom, you've got reports. So based on what you have up in this box here, we'll determine what reports that you have access to. So if you have a big area, you're only going to have access to activity report, neighborhood, and buyer tour. If you put a single property address in there, you would access all the other reports. Next to that is the recent. Again, you've got your recent properties up here. You've got your recent searches. You've got all the recent reports and all of your recent notes. Back home. The last one down here is saved. So anytime you have saved a search or a property, it's going to show up in this list. So you can see that property that we saved earlier will show up in this area. And then if you have any searches that you have saved, those will also be in here that you can go back and access. So if I'm looking for anything that's within a half-mile radius, just tap on that. It takes me right back in, and I have that map. All right, so I'm going to come back home here. All right, let's go back. I want to show you a couple other things here. Virtual showings, there is a realtor. Her name is Mabel Guzman. If you go into the nar.realtor website, she has a strategy for virtual showings. Just type in virtual showings and her video will show up. Highly recommend. It's really good, well done. A lot of great ideas there. So do check that out. In her video tour, she talks about using FaceTime and Google Hangouts possibly. And then she talks about how to communicate to your clients, the different sizes, the height of the ceilings, the size of the windows. And then after you're done with that video tour, you always debrief virtually. So you're sitting in the car and you're talking to your clients about what they just saw. Think of their experience. What did they think of it? Do they need to make any changes the next time you do a virtual tour? How can you make it better for them? So she talks about all of this on that video. So do check that out. Also, reach out to everybody in your sphere and beyond. You know, ask what issues that they may be encountering. See if you can help them solve some of those issues. And then communicate with them once a week. Send out the market activity report maybe several times, maybe once a month or whatever. But you need to be in contact with them. Once this is all over with, the one that reaches out the most to these people is the realtor that's going to get the business when they need to sell or they need to buy. And then also mailing, you know, postcards, emails, video calls, social media events. These are all great ways to stay in contact with everybody in your database. Virtual appointments, these are great. It really shows that you care and that you're concerned. Ask how you can help them. You know, can you help them get groceries or medicine? Maybe they're missing their friends and their family and they don't know how to reach out to them. Maybe you'll have to teach them how to do a virtual phone call, like a Zoom meeting or Skype or Google Hangouts or anything like that. You might have to teach them how to use these tools so that they can be in touch with their family and their friends. Again, using your phone, the video options, update Facebook, LinkedIn, all of your other online profiles, make sure that those are up to date. If you don't have a business page on Facebook, now's the time to create that and post some of your videos. You know, do a virtual tour if you've got some listings, post those on Facebook. Do a virtual open house or an event there. Also, if you have a real estate website, update your message frequently there. The coronavirus updates and the real estate market updates. Let them know what's going on. Keep them posted. There's also Facebook Messenger where you can share a 15-second video. You can also do video tours. Again, check your restrictions, what you have in your state. And then also, you know, there's some ideas where the client does the video and the agent does the voiceover. So the listing agent or the listing homeowner could do the video. You would do the voiceover as you're walking through. Zoom link to a potential seller, conduct the listing presentation right there on Zoom, just like we're doing here on this video. Vacant properties, again, check what you can and cannot do, but that's a great opportunity also to do a video tour. So in recap, we kind of talked about working with buyers and sellers, how to do a property and neighborhood research, how to take photo, voice, and memos, and then how to save the properties, save the search just by tapping on that little star, how to contact the listing agent, and then also how to send out customized reports to your clients. So again, this is just an immediate client response. So anytime they call about a property or an area, this is a great way to send out that report, and it gives them a lot of great information. It's also a great way to capture their contact information and start adding them to your database. Great for lead conversion. You can always add photos to any report. It's going to stay in your account. No one else is going to see it. And you can answer all of their questions. So whenever they call you, you can pull up the property and answer all of their questions and become that neighborhood expert. Don't forget, you can go to our blog, blog.nerrpr.com, for all of our resources. You can click on the learning up there at the top, watch now webinars. You can also go to live webinars, and we've got ebooks, quick start guides. They're all right there for you guys to use. So if you do click on the tutorials, you can go ahead and scroll over here on the left-hand side, put in what you're looking for. You'll locate mobile here, and then you can watch now and then watch the whole thing, or you can jump down to the bottom there and watch individual pieces that you need to go back and revisit. So what I'd like you to do is to look up a property, drive by, take a photo, do a note, and then create a report and send it to yourself so you can see what it looks like. The more you play with this now, and then when you've got a client that is needing that information, you're going to feel comfortable giving it to them. Again, you can access RPR at www.nerrpr.com, or there's a link in your MLS that'll take you right into RPR. Download that RPR mobile app today and start playing with it, everything that I've shown you. You can also go to the blog, again, for all of our resources. And then if you do need help, please contact our member support team. They're there to help you 24/7 at that number. All right, let me just check and see what else we have here. This has been recorded, and you guys will be receiving a copy of this afterwards. We'll be sending it out to everybody, so be watching for that. When are you teaching this again? It's really good info, but too fast for me. I know it's a lot of information, but I want to make sure that you guys have the full feeling of everything that you can do in there. You just have to go in there and start playing. Again, go back into the blog and look for the video on RPR Mobile. You can watch that as many times as you want. Watch a little bit and then go into your phone and do what we just showed you how to do. And that's a great way to learn. Let's see. All right, I think I like this app a lot. How is this different from the heart? Again, I answered that. Okay. I think we've got everything done. So I want to wish you all a very safe and happy week. Stay positive. This will be over soon, hopefully, and we can all get back to normal business. But in the meantime, think out of the box, and I wish you all a safe and positive time. Bye, everybody. Talk to you later.